Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. First call, Brett Favre wants Aaron Rodgers to choose Vikings. Steelers reportedly sign Eagles RB Kenneth Gainwell in first call for Wednesday. The Pittsburgh Steelers are adding a running back. A third team may be in the mix for Aaron Rodgers. Some former Steelers are part of moves in the AFC North. We will also look at what lies ahead for Robert Morris in the NCAA basketball tournament after clinching the Horizon League crown on Tuesday night gains with Gainwell. It looks like the Steelers are stealing an eagle from the nest in Philadelphia. According to Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz, the Steelers are signing Kenneth Gainwell. Last year with the Eagles, Gainwell backed up Saquon Barkley. The 25-year-old from Memphis ran for 290 yards on 75 attempts. At 5'9", 200 pounds, Gainwell added 16 catches for 116 yards. He had one total touchdown on the season. One of Gainwell's best games of 2025 was against the Steelers. During Philly's 27-13 cakewalk over Pittsburgh, he touched the ball 10 times for 60 yards and showed some good running ability in space. No terms of the deal were disclosed. The Steelers lost running back Najee Harris to the Los Angeles Chargers in free agency this week and have tendered restricted free agent Jaylen Warren. Is Minnesota in the mix? Most reports have free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers deciding between the Steelers and New York Giants. But The Athletic's Michael Silver says that the Minnesota Vikings could still be in play. Upon hearing that news, Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre encouraged that choice for Rodgers. By all means, sign with them. They've got a really good football team. They're loaded at pretty much every position, Favre told Fox News. They made it to the playoffs last year. They got a tremendous fan base, much like the Packers. If you get the opportunity, that's a good place to win. Of course, you gotta play the Packers then. Rodgers used to back up Favre in Green Bay. Once Rodgers took over as the starter in 2008, Favre went to the Jets and eventually retired after a 2-year stint with the Vikings. Similarly, Rodgers went to the Jets after leaving the Packers in 2023. Now, he may be considering Minnesota, just like Favre. Love-hate relationship at its best, Favre said of the Packers-Vikings NFC North history. That's what makes it such a great rivalry. I got to see it from both sides. It made me appreciate both sides even more. If he gets an opportunity, why not? The Vikings lost both Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on day one of the NFL's legal tampering period. Darnold went to Seattle, and Jones is going to Indianapolis. The franchise still has last year's first-round draft choice, J.J. McCarthy, at quarterback. But the Michigan product tore a meniscus in the preseason last year and never played an official down. Steelers' projected compensatory picks will get fans excited despite dull free agency. It's hard to get excited about what the Pittsburgh Steelers have done during the NFL's negotiation. With teams permitted to discuss and come to terms on contract language with free agents before free agency officially opens, General Manager Omar Khan and the front office have been sitting on their hands. Players like Jaylen Warren and Ryan McCullum will return to the team on tenders, but when it comes to free agency moves, you can see the proverbial tumbleweed drift across your computer screen. While the Steelers did agree to a deal with 34-year-old cornerback Darius Slay, they have loads of talent departing in free agency for new teams. Leaving the team via free agency on new contacts are players like Justin Fields, Dan Moore Jr., James Daniels, Najee Harris, Dante Jackson, and Elandon Roberts, all of whom were former starters for the Steelers. But the news isn't all bad. Though Pittsburgh's free agency has been as dull as ever in the early going, the Steelers are racking up projected compensatory picks like nobody's business. Because the Steelers have numerous departing players who agreed to terms on massive salaries, Khan and the front office are going to reap the benefits of their losses. That won't happen until the 2026 NFL Draft, but better late than never. Over the Cap is keeping tabs on every team's projected comp picks for next season, and the Steelers are sitting pretty. Pittsburgh Steelers projected compensatory picks in 2026 NFL Draft. 3rd round comp pick, OT Dan Moore Jr. 4th round comp pick, QB Justin Fields. 5th round comp pick, RB Najee Harris. 6th-round comp pick, OG James Daniels. We figured the Steelers could get a 4th-round compensatory pick by losing Justin Fields, but who would have guessed Pittsburgh would get a 3rd-round comp pick for Dan Moore Jr.? Additionally, this team is on track for a pair of Day 3 compensatory picks thanks to the loss of Najee Harris and James Daniels in free agency. These projected compensatory picks are subject to change and can be cancelled out, depending on the contracts the Steelers have yet to hand out in free agency. Chances are, they won't hand out a deal big enough to cancel out their 3rd-round comp pick for Moore, and their 4th-rounder is likely safe at this point with the biggest free agent names off the market. Pittsburgh Steelers must be wise with free agent spending. Right now, Omar Khan and Andy Weidel are projected to have loads of draft capital to work with in the 2026 NFL Draft. This is a great thing. By next season, the Pittsburgh Steelers could be in a situation where they need to trade up high into the draft to land a franchise quarterback, and these added picks give them the firepower to do so. Now they have to be careful with their free agent spending. While I normally wouldn't advocate going the full-blown Dallas Cowboys route and simply loading up on comp picks at the risk of missing out on free agent talent, Pittsburgh doesn't want to cancel out the valuable compensatory formula they've earned so far. They've already missed out on the top talents available, so they might as well let the free agent waters cool before they dip their toes in the pool. Pittsburgh Steelers get absurd contract price on Aaron Rodgers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in a quarterback limbo that seems likely to end in one of Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson as their next quarterback. However, what would Rodgers cost the Steelers if they wanted to sign him? According to Mike Florio, who made a semi-educated guess on what Rodgers could get, he thinks that Rodgers wants to play 2 years, and 2-year, $90 million deal could be had with Rodgers. That is an absurd projection by every measure. Rodgers would get paid more than Sam Darnold, and more than double what Justin Fields received from the New York Jets. Rodgers threw for 28 touchdowns and 11 interceptions in a banged-up season where he dealt with hamstring and knee injuries throughout the year. That was after coming off a torn Achilles. The Steelers, along with the New York Giants, remain interested in bringing Rodgers into the fold. According to Florio, Rodgers wants to play for the Steelers and they might be his first option, but it is far from done. If the Steelers fail to close on Rodgers, they will almost certainly pivot back to Wilson. Betting, check out our guide to the best PA sportsbooks, where our team of sports betting experts has reviewed the experience, payout speed, parlay options, and quality of odds for multiple sportsbooks. Are you a fan? What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.